Hi, it's Rod the Fix-It Guy again. How you doing? I have another video here showing you control arms. This time it's the lower control arms. They come from this vehicle, the 86 Buick Regal that I've been working on. So what I did was, you can see here I've painted these. Basically I sanded these down using the wire brush wheel. Then gave it a couple coats of rust paint, and as you can see those came out real nice. So next what I'm ready to do is install the bushings. These are the Moog Problem Solver ones, K6421. You're going to notice these are not the same. Okay, they are different. One's a little bit fatter, the other one's a little bit thinner, and one's a little bit longer. So the bushings for these two spots are different. So you'll see if I put this one here right up to it, it's basically the same length as the arm. And then this one here, you'll see it's way too long. So obviously this one goes here, which is the wider side, and this one here goes on the shorter side. Okay, so they are not interchangeable. What I'm going to do now, I did paint this like I said. The holes here where the bushings go in have a little bit of paint that ran in there. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand those down prior to me trying to assemble these. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm putting a little bit of wheel bearing grease. Not a lot, just a little bit on the bushings. And this will help them slide in. Alright, and then we're also going to put just a tad right here on the control arm. Again, just to help it slide in. Okay, good. Now, we're going to have this control arm slides in this way. And what we're going to do here, you do need a ball joint removal kit to install these. So this is one of the pieces. So is this from the ball joint removal kit. Obviously this isn't a ball joint, but this is this kit will also work for these. So what I've got here is a socket. So this is a 34 millimeter, and you'll see from here this fits right over the rubber and goes right on the edge of the bushing, which is what you want, right? You want that to fit right on the edge. All right. I'm going to slide this in position here. Now, the other thing you need to do is if you look at these you look at the ears here on the control arm, you can see that they're open. Let me just show that to you. Okay, these are open on the back side. So if you put too much pressure on this, it's going to crush the actual metal here and deform the control arm. So you don't want that. So what I'm going to do here, I have a socket that's just barely, slightly looser than the fit here, and that's going to prevent the metal from collapsing while I'm tightening it. Put that right in there. Alright, so right here you're going to notice the little gap. This is what we have to fill by pushing in that bushing. And just, this should not take a ton of effort when you're tightening this. If it does, then something is not lined up properly. It should take a medium amount of effort. You can see this gap here is getting smaller, which means the bushing is seating itself. Okay, so now what we're going to do, if you look here, you're going to notice the bushing is completely seated. It's right up against the metal. Now we're going to loosen this up. Alright, and there we go. Got our bushing fully in place, lined up nice and straight, and no deformation here of the mounts, so everything looks great. So that's number one. We're going to do number two now. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on here. Alright, and then just a little bit of grease here on the ears. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the some of the parts from the ball joint kit. So we've got one of our adapters here, another adapter here, and a plate. Anyway, and it's pushing right up against the bushing right here. You can see there's a small little gap that we have to push this bushing in on. I'll put my foot here for a little leverage. And again, this should go in very easily. Shouldn't be difficult. Okay, so I had to put in the spacer again here just to support the sidewall. Forgot to do that the first time. And the way I realized that was it was starting to get a bit tough to put it in. Alright, so as you can see here, the bushing has been pushed right up against the side of the control arm. It's fully seated. And now what we can do is loosen this up. Alright, and there we can see our bushing is completely pushed in. Both sides look great. Nice and even. So if you're pushing this bushing in and it's not going in, it takes a lot of effort, then most likely you need to support the inside here, because what's happening is it's going in on an angle, and that's why it's difficult to push in. If you've got everything lined up properly, this should go in very easily. You should be able to do it by hand. I don't mind using an impact gun when I'm removing these because they're old and rusty and hard to get out. But my recommendation is when you put them in, do it by hand, because then you can feel how much resistance there is. If you do it with an impact gun, you can very easily either distort or damage the control arm. Okay, and that's everything. That's how you install lower control arm bushings in a G-body. These ones happen to be from an 86 Buick Regal, but again, all G-bodies, actually S10s are very similar as well, pretty much identical. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video.